Buffalo Man. Once upon a time in the wild plains of Kansas, there was a creature unlike any other, a hybrid being known as Buffalo Man. He had the body of a brawny, muscular man, but his head was that of a mighty buffalo. Buffalo Man was a legend in these parts, known for his incredible strength, uncanny wisdom, and insatiable appetite for grass and cheeseburgers. One day, Buffalo Man decided he wanted to try something different. "I've been running through fields and scaring off coyotes for too long," he said to himself. "I think it's time I tried a new hobby." So, Buffalo Man moseyed into the nearest town, his massive hooves clomping down Main Street, and signed up for a yoga class. The townsfolk, already used to Buffalo Man's occasional visits for groceries, were still surprised when he walked into the yoga studio. But Buffalo Man was determined. "Namaste," he bellowed, his deep voice shaking the windows. The instructor, a tiny woman named Willow, didn't bat an eye. "Welcome to yoga, Buffalo Man," she said with a smile. "Let's start with some deep breathing." Buffalo Man took a deep breath, and the sound was like a gust of wind through the prairie. As he exhaled, a nearby plant was blown out of its pot. Willow quickly moved on to the next pose, hoping to keep things under control. "Let's try downward dog," she suggested. Buffalo Man got down on all fours, but his massive buffalo head made it difficult to balance. He toppled over, causing a small earthquake that knocked all the other students out of their poses. "Whoops, sorry." Buffalo Man apologized, his buffalo tail swishing nervously. He tried to stand up, but instead, his horns got stuck in the ceiling. As he struggled to free himself, the studio lights flickered, and the whole building groaned under the stress. Finally, with a loud crack, Buffalo Man pulled free, taking a chunk of the ceiling with him. He looked around at the chaos he'd caused. The yoga mats were scattered, the students were disheveled, and Willow was just standing there, her arms crossed, trying not to laugh. "Maybe yoga isn't my thing after all," Buffalo Man said sheepishly, brushing ceiling dust off his shoulders. Willow smiled and patted him on his furry arm. "Yoga might not be, but you gave it your best shot, Buffalo Man. Maybe you should try something that suits your, unique talents better." Buffalo Man thought about it and then his eyes lit up. "How about weightlifting? I'm great at lifting heavy things." So Buffalo Man signed up for the local weightlifting competition, where he proceeded to break every record, bench-pressing cars, and deadlifting telephone poles. The townsfolk cheered, and Buffalo Man finally found his new hobby. From that day on, Buffalo Man became a regular at the town's gym, where he was known not only for his strength, but also for his enthusiastic, if somewhat disruptive, encouragement. And whenever someone mentioned yoga, Buffalo Man would just chuckle and say, "That's for the flexible folks. I'll stick to lifting trucks." And so, Buffalo Man lived happily ever after, stronger than ever and still occasionally munching on grass, but now with a little extra protein shake on the side.